y'all doing today? It's your boy, Aqua7729. And I am here to have Odin chase a piece of plastic, apparently. Where are you? You want to chase plastic? No? I have no idea what he wants. I have no idea what he wants. Sometimes he just moves around and just... What? He is upset with me today, apparently. What do you want? I had some chai today and put a lot of honey into it, and it was great. Oh. There we go. Look at this baby boy. The baby boy. Oh, yeah. Outcast bro, hello, how are you? Also, I can't hear you right now. Texting you during the... Take care of yourself. You don't need to risk it. Thank you. You do not need to risk it. Thank you. We're gonna be playing game now. Bottom right gaming. Ba. Why is this blocked?
Recon pass completed.
That's not right. All right.
Mi condenable.
Wow, they've kept up with
Council agenda
resources. That's impressive, actually.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Recon pass completed.
My economy is taking a bit of a hit. But we're gonna come back with nonsense.
System reconnaissance completed. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Cruisers are good. Got a plasma thruster, I guess. Bruh. I am sorry. Meetings were never fun. Alright, cruiser. Alright. Replaced with civilian industry because might as well.
Construction complete. System reconnaissance completed.
Yeah. I'm going to save my influence if he decides to do any more nonsense. Like if he tries to expand some more, then I'll just claim it instantly. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Recon pass completed. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We take supremacy now, for sure. Oh wait, no, we have to hold on to our points till after we finish our agenda. Bah. What? Outcasts bros. It's okay. It's going to be okay. One day you're going to get out of that hellhole. One day you will.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
You will. I promise.
Mi condenable.
Anomaly found. Construction complete.
I'm moving to Canada. Probably not near me, but
Tracking space.
if you do need help, if you live close enough to me or for whatever reason you need help, I can try to help out where I can. Whilst you're in Canada.
Inbound message traffic.
Windsor in Ontario. Yeah, I'm a little bit further far away for that, but if you do need help, I actually know a guy who lives in that area, actually. He's PMO himself,
Spaceborne
but
life form.
I'm not going to say who or what because I don't want to risk him getting outed for any reason. but you know, I might mention him your name if you need help, and he might be able to do what he can.
System reconnaissance completed. Taking evasive action. Recon pass completed.
Don't worry, that's what we're here for.
Reports a new breakthrough.
Try to help each other out, right?
System reconnaissance completed.
Mi condenable.
New sitrep. Science Division report success.
Council agenda ready.
Ships refitted. New sitrep. Ships refitted. Ships refitted. Special project complete. Inbound message traffic.
Yeah, I think we just keep up with them. I don't think we need cloning necessarily.
System reconnaissance completed. Science Division reports a new breakthrough. New sitrep.
I like stability.
Mi conderena, please. Mi conderena, please.
Science Division reports success.
Okay.
Construction complete.
Build up, build
Ships
up.
refitted. Ships refitted. Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Recon pass completed. Special project complete. Inbound message traffic. Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne lifeform. New sitrep. Construction complete. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Oh, we gotta move our fleets. We're just gonna contain him into this area, essentially. And then give it all to my vassal.
Construction complete.
Then I don't have to worry about it.
Skywatch.
That's not a good one to get.
Council agenda ready.
Standing by to commence offensive operations. Tracking spaceborne lifeform. Engaging enemy station.
Council agenda available.
Engaging enemy station.
Alright. Keep moving.
Inbound message traffic.
Council agenda available.
All right.
New sit rep. Engaging enemy station.
We will know what it means to be pure. Are you at war with someone else? Because I haven't seen your nonsense.
Science Division report success. System reconnaissance completed. Engaging enemy station. New species variant available.
Oh, there's someone. No, come back here! Come back here! No, 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 no. You don't get to run away.
Engaging enemy station.
Yeah! Your army is split up. That's 15,000?
Fleet action underway.
Oh, I didn't lose a single thing! I I didn't lose a single thing! Oh my god! Now we go for the fecking jugular! Get absolutely rickrolled after that one.
Ground forces are dropping on target.
That was not even fair.
Engaging enemy station.
Like, so much
Science division
fecking
report
lost
success.
for them. That's devastating. Oh, finally, civilian replicators. Jeez. I would like to achieve my war goals after you getting smacked. Your dick got so smacked! I left you pathetic!
System reconnaissance completed.
That's gotta be real sad for you, good buddy, old pal, old chum.
Mi condena, please.
I haven't smacked someone that hard in a long time. That's depressing for them.
Engaging enemy station. Science division reports a new breakthrough. Fleet action underway. Engaging enemy station. Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne lifeform.
Mi
Skywatch has
condena,
sighted
please.
a spaceborne lifeform.
Council agenda ready.
Engaging enemy station.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this what I think it is?
Reports enemy contact.
Look at all those little Corvettes get eaten and
Spaceport
devoured.
lost to enemy action.
I still haven't lost a fucking ship.
Fleet action underway.
Hello, Planksy. I smacked this guy's dick, like, just BAM! And he no longer has a dick. I feel very proud of myself.
Engaging enemy station.
Oh, he's cut. You like some good old dick smacking? I have to say, when you're smacking the dick, it's pretty good. Not as good when Ah! I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that's annoying. How unfortunate. You poor unfortunate souls. How you going? I've already gone through purity. I've already set up everything for purity. Easiest money of my life! Okay. I cannot give them Uthane, but I can give them everything else. It's kind of leader focused. Okay. Everything besides Uthane? And once again, offer trade deal. And offer trade deal. There you go, my little guy! Look how big you got! Oh, I gave you 2 planets too! Aren't they adorable? My children. Why is my economy dying right now? Why? Why? Why is my economy dying right now? It's not like those systems were that important, right? Ah. Ah. Well. Negotiate agreement. Time for you to pay your way, good buddy old pal Jump.
Mi conderana, please. Mi conderana, please.
30% already. Okay, that helps a bit. I guess next stop is to vassalize this guy. Alternatively. Whoa! You're a big guy, aren't you? You're a big ass guy. You're going Chronogenesis? No.
Council agenda available.
So you're going Galactic Emperor? No. I'm here to take over the galaxy. Everybody will be vassalized underneath me. That is the goal.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what do I take at this point? Sure, and I might eventually. Like, I can still try it. Sure, not a problem, but, I don't need to. I need something here. Could take Masterful Crafters, although I don't like it. But it is good. But I do not like it. And we can't take Crusader Spirit. No, not yet. But I mean, he's going to fall soon. Once the mid-game hits, he's going to fall, and then I will do the genetic ascension nonsense. I could also just take Nationalistic Zeal, but it's not very good. But it does give a commander roll, but it only gives 10% naval cap, which is like, It means if he dies once, he's coming back. I don't have very many slaves. And I'm definitely not taking... Oh! Man, this sucks. I'll just take Nationalistic Zeal. What did they do to you, my boy? My boy! Oh! My son! What did they do to you? God damn! Why are you ugly? No, it's not. It's a post. They are a Savelli, but there were some genetic experiments that went awry.
Science Division reports success.
And I don't think, yeah, you can never remove this. My child! My boy! What have they done to you?
Science Division reports success.
What have they done to you? Heresy. Yeah. Oh, we got a diplomatic insult from the Empire of Zrun. Tell me again. Tell me again! Who do you think you are? Okay, well, you know what? Let's insult you right back. Because do you know what hits harder? My dick. My dick hits way harder than yours. Why am I getting pinged? Getting pinged. Oh, chatty.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Wait, why was this pinned? unpin the message. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was going someplace else. Changes authority. Nucleic judiciary. Holds pop effects from species genetic. Society research per 100 pops is 50. Nice. Organic leaders gain the genetic purist trait. Genetic purist affects the species' genetic appearance. Planetary crime, sector crime, planet and sector stability. Pop a minute. Okay. My body is ready. I guess we just take galactic force projection, maybe? You could also take mastery of nature. Take mastery of nature. We take mastery of nature here. Galactic force protection. That gives us still 3. Which is fine. Could take shared. I could also take shared destiny as well. But let's take mastery of nature for. We need to stay strong. We need to really stay ahead. So probably galactic force protection. Let's keep building! Because the next stop is to vassalize this guy. And we just keep going. We just keep going around the galaxy. My entire business model is patterned after, I need to stay ahead of my own economy. So I need slaves to work for me. I wouldn't even keep you as a slave in my own empire.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Like the British, correct! Like any colonial empire, I must expand.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Science Division reports success.
I have to be the most powerful one there
Science
is.
Division reports a new breakthrough.
Chip fire rate 5%. That's a whole. What are you doing?
Special project complete.
I have to say hello to him. He's too cute. He's too cute not to say hello to. I love the Infinity Machine. They're adorable. Okay. This guy's dick is gonna get so smacked. 10 years, when can I declare war on this guy? 2285. In 7 years, I'm going to smack this guy, and he's going to become a tributary.
Skywatch has sighted a space
I do not care about making him like me. I only care to suck him dry. Oh wait, don't take that out of context. 4 strategists on the council is pretty strong. I prefer to have 5, but you know, you can't have them all. You can't. Oh, our guy is level 10. I guess we take Pious Ascetic. No, there's. Yeah, I guess we take it. So, this guy takes His luminary traits is 5.25 stability on all projects, 10% unity from all jobs. Very strong leader. Yes, they did. Genetic purist. Planet, oh, it's only if I'm the planet governor. Crime minus 50. Jesus Christ. Holy crap! The stability is insane! I can't not, like, have 100% stability. That's insane stability! Also, it's impossible to get crime on my planets. So I'm always having 100% stability and 0% crime. Neat! Neat!
Council agenda ready.
Science Division reports success.
You know the event, the Brain Slugs one? How can I increase it? You can't. The only way you can do it is Brain Slugs are fired from every planet, so the only way to fire it off is to colonize more planets. It's really the only way you can do it.
Council agenda available.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Would you attach a brain slug to your head? No. I would ascend to the blessed machine. For me, I'd want to live my life biologically for till I'm about 60, 70, and then pump myself. Because I don't need it.
Science
Ah!
Division reports a new breakthrough.
Ah! There's a fanatic purifier over here. Well, once I subjugate this guy, then I might have to go smack this guy. Yeah, just icky. I'm not a fan of the ick. It gives me just the ick factor. Also, what is wrong with these guys? They quite literally can't do anything. Oh, they just don't have any pops. Interesting.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Well, I mean, you probably don't want to know the answer to
Science
that
Division
question.
reports a new
I
breakthrough.
feel like there are better things to get answers to. That is not that.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
I would do anything for love, but not that.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Science Division reports success.
I'd install a microchip. That doesn't ick me out. Because it's sanitary. Like, those are two very different things. My guy. Two very different things.
Science Division reports success.
Council agenda available.
Those are not comparable. Yeah. Biological. Very different than mechanical. Mechanical does not make me go. Ugh. Bio will make me go. Ugh. Different things. Might be. Everything might be less worse. Oh, wait, I should smack these guys.
Science Division reports success.
Did I not lose anybody? I lost cruises! Really? Is this like the bacteria in your gut? Yeah, the bacteria in my gut is me. I'm good. Just bring me over to the blessed machine. I like the machine anyways. I trust machines more than I trust bio anything. I trust machines over anything else. Over bio. That's just me.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Ooh. All right.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Big upgrade. I like microprocessors. I don't trust nature. Nature will always... Nature is never the same. Nature will always become something different. There's nothing wrong with that,
Spaceborne
the way
life.
that is, but when it comes to your body, you never know what will evolve. But with the machine, you make it, and it will be that way until it degrades. The whole thing with machines is you try to make it less degrade. It will do
Science
what you
Division
tell it to do.
reports a new breakthrough. Ships refitted.
Nature will not always
refitted.
do what you tell it to do,
Council
or it
agenda
will
ready.
grow into something different. Yes, but we're not constant. Every creature, every creature, like the whole point of speciation, we became something different, right? And we only call, like, here's the thing, here's another thing. We are not biotechnology. Like, actually, like, thinking about this logically, we are not biotechnology. To claim we are biotechnology means we were created by something. As far as we know, we weren't created by anything. Like, humanity itself was, like, we can say for sure, humanity was not created. Created by what? By the gods. Source? DNA is not a source. The product, the existence of something does not mean the existence of something else. Right? We are at best, the best we can ever say is that we don't know if there was. And here's the thing, right? I'm sure you are perfectly fine with the process of evolution, right? So you and I both can agree that evolution is a process, correct? Like, evolution is a process, and we started, and as far as we can know, we started from singular-celled organisms. How that got there? Entirely unknown. But we started from a single-celled organism, right? All the evidence points to that. How that got there? Maybe it's God, maybe it's something else. We don't know. But we do know we started as a single-celled organism. So, from that logic, the single-celled organism, the gods came to Earth, gave some Earthling DNA, and manipulated, creating us. You can call them aliens. So you're saying humanity was specifically created? Like, specifically humanity was created. Everything else? No, it's a process of evolution. But humanity specifically was created. Based on what evidence? Like, what evidence do we have that shows that we came from something else? Many other races. Okay, so what other races? Based on our brain. What about our brain is so special from evolution that, from evolutionary perspective? What about our brain is so special, evolutionary, that it had, yeah. What about it? I'm curious.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Why is our brain not from this world?
Special project complete.
What about our brain makes it not from this world? Now, like, you can answer that, but I'm going to say something. But I'm going to start talking, because when I hear that comment, I immediately think of a book called The Sphere. Sphere is a science fiction story. I actually have it on my bookshelf. By Michael Crichton. Super cool book. Amazing book. Love it. No, we'll get to that. So we'll actually get into the evolutionary science of humanity, but because I have actually taken a course in evolutionary biology. I don't have a bachelor's. I just took a course to actually educate myself on evolutionary biology. So I do know my stuff regarding this because I had to, because I grew up in a cult that like went up against evolution. Anyways, so the point I'm trying to make is this book, The Sphere. The alien in this book compares the brain of a human and a bear. Right? And the bear and the human have the exact same size brain. Like, comparatively, a bear and a human have the exact same size brain, so why don't they think the same way? Well, there's a whole lot of other factors. Some of our other parts of our brain are more developed. Some of our other parts of our... we have more folds in our brain, which allows for more surface area, which allows for more thought process, right? That's the main difference, right? And also, we have the ability to think creatively. We're able to think ahead. We're able to see, position our thinking from a perspective further in the future. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But there's no real... Like, functionally, our brain is the same as every other mammal. It's just focused. It's hyper-focused. Now, why is our brain more hyper-focused? A lot of different reasons. A lot of things went into that, right? We're also not the only creature to have the same hyper-focused brain. We're not the only creatures that have had a hyper-focused brain. Neanderthal, Denisovans, our cousins, also had very similar brains. They have since gone the way of the dodo. You watched Ancient Aliens. You get this belief from Ancient Aliens. I know exactly what they're talking about, and there's no credible evidence for that whatsoever. Well, that theory was made famous by Ancient Aliens then. But our brain did not. Our brain has evolved. We have specific data on how our brain has evolved, right? To the point where even in our modern time, we have seen our brain evolve in a specific way. Because compared to every other mammal, we have to have a specific birthing process. There is a reason why the birthing process for humans suck ass for the female. And on top of that, we still come, quote unquote, undercooked. We evolved in a process, and part of the reason why our brains are the way and tune they are is because during the process of our development, we put all of our resources into developing that brain. But that brain gets bigger and bigger. It has to come out before it gets too big. Right? When that brain I'm saying, okay, we'll get to that point. But going on to that point, we still come out undercooked. That's why, as mammals, and compared to other many other creatures, we are completely defenseless when we come out of the womb, because we're still technically undercooked. Other animals would go through a longer gestation cycle to come out a little bit more fully formed. If we did that, our heads would be too big to actually come out of the womb. Right? But what we've noticed now, since cesarean sections, what we have noticed is that since cesarean sections have become increasingly more and more successful, it has allowed for babies' heads to get bigger. It's actually allowed them to get bigger. So we've noticed, on average, babies' heads are getting bigger as generations go on. Because we're allowing the we're just allowing the process to actually go on and survive. That evolution just constantly is a thing. Right? Very small, very, very indirect, but that's just one example. Our brains are not special in the sense that they are unknown to how they came to be the way they came to be. We have pretty solid evidence as to where they have developed, why they have developed. It also includes our diet. It includes, and it includes almost dying as a species. Like, as a species, we almost went extinct. We were this close to going extinct at one point. At one point, based on our genetic diversity and genome mapping, we found that we probably had less than 10,000 species at one point. We were this close to death. Like, extinction. We were critically endangered. Because we spec'd all of our evolution points into our brain. We happened to survive long enough to actually use it.
Science Division reports success.
Alright. Now, getting onto your earlier comment, I'm not saying evolution does not exist. I'm saying that from apes to what we are now couldn't take place in 200,000 years. It didn't take 200,000 years. Homo sapien has been around for 100,000 years. Actually, they've been around... How long is the latest? Not 100,000. It's 200,000? How long has Homo sapien been around? For about 300,000 years. That's my bad. 300,000 years. They've been around for 300,000 years. The first Homo sapiens ape came out of an ape. The apes had to take for him or her for all their childhood. The first Homo sapiens ape came out of an ape. That's not true. There is no there is an interesting paradox you have to learn about evolution. There is never a first of something. There has never been a first human. There has never been a first ape. There has never been a first whatever. That's not how evolution works. Right? There is never a first of something. And to give you an example to show how that is, who was the first person to... It's a slow transition. Correct. So there is no first of anything. So humanity, Homo sapien, as far as we know, that transition happened about 300,000 years ago from our earliest common ancestor. That transition took 1 million years. More or less. Like, that transition took a long time. We didn't just suddenly appear. We have a long transaction of record of where we came from. Where we came No, not necessarily. They didn't have to evolve their brain. Like, no, that's not how evolution works. Right? That's not how evolution works. Right? It's not, they didn't have to evolve their brain to take care of the child. Right? You're thinking too small. You're thinking like every generation needs to do. No, that's not how that works. The population evolves together. The next generation, like, yes, mutations occur, but individuals do not evolve, populations do. The actual cause of early childbirth lies in women's metabolism, which was only a limited capacity. Over the course of evolution, metabolism is determined how long a person stays in the womb. As the pregnancy progresses, it becomes increasingly difficult for the female organism to provide itself and the fetus with sufficient energy. Yes, but humans specifically had to evolve a specific process that we come out undercooked. Because we develop our brain first. That's all I was trying to say about that. Right? There's more than just the metabolism. We literally just barely come out. Every other creature does not every other creature, but many creatures do not have the same level of problems when giving birth. They do not come close to the same level of problems. Granted, it's not easy, but some literally... And I'm talking not just like other creatures, I'm talking mammals. Like our closest relatives. How weird that we come under... No, it's just how we needed to do. We needed to do it. Right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are. Right? It's not a design. You're attributing design to something that is undercooked. You're attributing design that has killed birth rates. Like, humanity does not have an easy time giving birth. We had to evolve to survive it. Not not because that was planned. If your gods planned it to be this way, they're dumb. We did not. There are a million ways. Undercooked is the compromise to having smarter brains. No, you could design it so that they could develop outside the. They could develop other things first instead of the brain. If you have the ability to mess with the genetic code the way that you do, there are a million ways that you could design it without it being deadly to the species. Based on what? Once again, like, what evidence do you have besides, like... You just created, at the moment they were trying to... What problem? What problem were we created to solve? And also, what evidence? Like, there's nothing in our genetic code that shows that it was tampered with. Nothing in our genetic code shows that was tampered with. It shows that we have the genetic code of us showing all throughout the cycle. We're all connected together. There's a reason why we share 50% of our DNA with bananas. Right? We have 50% of the same DNA because eventually down the long line of life, we came from the same thing. Right? Yeah. Okay. But there's no evidence that there was any sort of genetic tampering. We didn't evolve so fast. We didn't evolve, like, there was no point where we evolved too fast. How? Right? Our closest ancestor... Right? Our closest ancestor is Homo heidelbergensis. Gensis. Homo heidelbergensis. And when did these things live? They lived, our ancestor lived alongside of us until about 100,000 years ago. Right? Our parents lived alongside of us before dying out, so to speak. This is in Asia. We evolved a super brain 200,000 years ago. Based on what evidence? What evidence did we have that shows that our brain evolved that, like, super brain in 200,000 years? What evidence do you have? Like, what do you have? What evidence? What archaeological sites? Because I'll tell you right now, no, I doubt there's a self-respecting there, no archaeological site data will really show that. What archaeological sites?
Construction complete. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Like, what about our brain became supercharged? So we went from living in caves to building monolithic structures suddenly. For one, the whole... To think that we all lived in caves is something called survivorship bias. The reason why we find fossils of humanity primarily in caves is because of survivorship bias. That does not mean we primarily lived in caves. Second, building monolithic structures. The first monolith, the oldest monolithic structure, it's a figure of speech. It's not suddenly. The first monolithic structure we know of is the Göbekli Tepe. That is the oldest human structure we know of, is Göbekli Tepe. How old is the current, let's see, how old is Göbekli Tepe? Is about 11,000 to 12,000 years old. Very old, very impressive, very mysterious. So we evolved a super brain in 200,000 years, and we didn't do anything about it until 10,000 years ago? You saying we evolved the super brain in 200,000 years ago, and then all of a sudden, we didn't do anything with that super brain until till 10,000, until 12,000 years ago? Like, that doesn't add up. It makes you, it like, and also, you have to, like, And also, let's continue on. Let's actually talk about, because now we're getting into anthropology rather than biology, right? So if which was made 60 years ago, fair enough. I will concede that point. We're moved on from that point anyways. But fair enough. That research may be very old. It still does not help his point. But once again, going into this idea, now we're getting to anthropology. And what does anthropology teach us, right? Well, anthropology teaches us that the smaller the population, the harder it is for it to... You need a large population to do big things. If you don't have large populations, you're not going to have big things. It's not like humanity was all unified, right? Throughout most of our history into even, like, anything bigger than a tribe, right? To actually unify things, that's when civilization starts, and that's when we know things started happening. Right? So, the reason why we didn't do the big things is because we hadn't collected together in big enough groups yet. Because we didn't feel the need, or we didn't have the proper setup to do it. It's not like everything was the same. And once again, I was telling you earlier, there was a point where we almost went extinct. We almost, we dropped to a critically endangered species level. We almost went extinct. So having that few people, it's not going to cause anything doing, right? The whole point of, building a civilization is basically just gathering a whole bunch of people in one place. When the gods left. I don't know what to say. When did the gods leave? Oh. Yes, when you had flatulence and humanity almost perished. I'm not saying I had flatulence. I'm not a god. This was literally 100,000 years ago when we dropped to very, 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 very little people.
Council agenda available.
Sometimes people don't really say what they're really thinking when you capture them in the moment. It says,
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
When did the gods leave? And if you're going to say, the gods helped build the pyramids of Egypt, that's really sad. Because we have, a lot of... I could not tell you an exact date. The whole idea that...
Spaceborne life form.
That we couldn't figure that out on ourselves. And, it's also very overhyped of how little we know how the pyramids were built. We have a pretty good general idea. We don't know the ins and outs of every single day, but we have a pretty good general idea on most pyramids. That's old hyperbole. Sure, we know, but for that exact reason, we shouldn't jump to conclusions about stuff that we don't know. That's the exact... Zantuzo, that's the exact reason why we don't jump to conclusions of stuff that we can't possibly know. For example, God's manipulating our DNA to make us what we are. Just throwing out an example.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Standing by to commence offensive operations.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken. In evolution, the answer is chicken. For the evolutionary process, that's all we can say. The chicken came first.
Engaging enemy station. Construction complete.
We don't know
Science
where the
Division
first,
reports a
and
new
it's
breakthrough.
currently the only, are you sure? In terms of the evolutionary process, the chicken came first. With the evolutionary process, the chicken came first. Now, if you want to ask, like, you know, where did the first single-celled organisms come from? We don't fully know. Abiogenesis is probably the closest theory we know of. There's pretty good research, but we don't know. But in terms of dealing with the actual study of evolution, we simplify it that the chicken came first. And it works with all of our models.
Engaging enemy station. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Every night for 353 days. I heard.
Fleet action underway.
The answer is the egg, and zoologists agree on this too. Long ago, there was a bird that was very similar to today's chickens, a near chicken. Okay. Sure, but, like, that still didn't make it a chicken. Remember, in evolution, there was never the first chicken. Something is never born a specific species. They're born as individuals. Populations evolve, individuals do not. Speaking of it, what about the Sphinx being weathered with high amounts of rain when the last time this happened in Egypt was 12,000 years ago? Do you know what also weathers buildings just as well as rain? Sand. Sand is very good at eroding buildings. Very similar to rain. I wonder if Egypt has a lot of sand.
Our pioneers have made planetfall. Engaging enemy station.
Not that. How do you know? Show me the data of how it was. Show me the actual data, because all the data I have read has sand erosion. Yes. I mean, let me double check something. Sphinx construction. Made out of... Yeah, they're both, the data is fake. Well, use your eyes. I'm not going to pretend that my understanding of... I'm not going to pretend that my understanding of a topic is going to be greater than a person who has studied more and has gotten much more knowledge about this than me. Right? I'm not going to pretend that is the height of arrogance to think that, oh wow, I can I totally have the knowledge and the actual ability to understand the data that is coming my way and be able to synthesize it into a model better than these people. Now, I'm allowed to ask questions and totally get them peer-reviewed and be able to do that, but to claim their data is fake and then say use your just use this is very like that is the height of anti-intellectualism, and that is the height of anti-disestablishment, and that does nobody any good. But that's the thing, not all persons who you claim are smarter don't agree. It's sand erosion. So sure, some people don't agree. Most people do. Most people think it's sand erosion. Generally, the people that don't agree are, you're choosing to believe some persons. And you are too. Don't pretend that you can understand know the data that they're presenting. Unless you actually are an Egyptologist, or a mineralogist, or a geologist. Also, go on to Zentuza. Others say that the chicken came first because at the time chicken did not lay eggs and give birth to live. Don't be surprised, I'm just copying it. I wasn't there when the egg or the chicken was born. I don't quite understand what you're trying to get at, Zentuza. Right? Chickens did not lay eggs and give birth to live. I mean, remember that chickens are evolved from dinosaurs. Right? We know where they come from, and dinosaurs all laid eggs, right? Remember that. Remember, populations evolve, not individuals. There was never an individual that became the first chicken. The population, though, of chickens give birth to chickens.
Science Division reports success. Inbound message traffic.
The ones from the pyramid and the ones from the Sphinx are way more eroded. And remember that the pyramid was also covered. Right? Remember that the pyramid was not constructed the same way as the Sphinx. There are two different construction types. And also, remember, the pyramid that we see was eroded because it had another layer on top of it, right? It wasn't just built with blocks. There were also layers that were made that was eroded off. All of that's gone. The capstone's gone too. Who knows what really happened? No one witnessed it. That would be really cool if it didn't just shut down the conversation. Remember, if a tree falls and no one is around to hear it, does it still make a sound? Yes. Rationality tells you it does. Yes, no one was around to witness it, but it still makes a sound. This is the model. This is the model we have developed. Right? We use those models to predict what's going to happen. And if it keeps happening over and over and over again, that model is considered fact. Now, sometimes, maybe you'll have a situation where the tree doesn't make a noise. And that's an anomaly. You have to figure out why it didn't. You'd have to find out how you know it didn't make a noise, but that's an anomaly. You have to go investigate that. And Playing C, remember, the pyramids are also heavily eroded. Remember that they are not just made out remember that they were not originally just made out of blocks. They had blocks and then a final covering over the entire thing. The entire outer covering of the pyramid has eroded away. All of it. And another thing, they were not made at the same time. It hasn't eroded, it was stolen. Sometimes it was stolen, sometimes it was not. right? Sometimes it was eroded and sometimes it was not. And remember that the Sphinx and the pyramids were not built at the same time. Look at the first pyramids ever built, like Khafre's pyramid. That thing is eroded to hell and back, same as the Sphinx. Not all the pyramids were the Great Pyramids of Giza, right?
Engaging enemy station. Fleet action underway. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Whew. Also, I understand I'm getting, like, woo, excited. Because that's how I normally talk. Please do not take offense to me getting, like, excited.
Fleet action underway. Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Engaging enemy station.
But yeah. For me, like, when I hear theories about, like, old ancient worlds, like, there is no real evidence of it. There is speculation. What I'm saying is that we know today could be outdated, and a Stone Age theory the day after, since you're always talking about people used to think pyramids were built by slaves, but today they think the logistics back then weren't efficient, and who knows what the theory will look like tomorrow. Once again, that is a stop-gapping mechanism. That ends the conversation and stops you from critically thinking. Right? To say, oh, well, we don't know, and this, and blah, blah, blah. It completely ignores the data we do know. And what we have come to synthesize from it. Yes, we can synthesize it wrongly. Yes, we can be entirely wrong about tons of different things. That is the nature of science, right? Darwin's theory of evolution is not, like, we don't believe in the same theory that Darwin proposed. It had to be updated and brought forth. But the general concept is still there. Right? So, to just say, oh, that stops critical thinking. That stops being able to actually create models. Yes, those models might be wrong, but they're the best we've got right now. So we work with those models until someone comes up with a better model. Remember, with the scientific process, you can't just tear something down without replacing it. You can't just say, oh, this theory is wrong, and here's why, without offering a better explanation as to why at the same time. Or at least without, like, showing every single thing from the moment we've conceived the idea to be factually incorrect. So, we work with the models we have. We work with the information we have. And yes, things will change. Yes, that things will do, but once again, we work with what we got. You can find stones from the pyramids all over old buildings in Cairo. There is. You can't, just because academics have decided. Anti-establishment. Once again, you're attacking the establishment without actually attacking the idea. You're trying to cast doubt on the whole establishment And therefore, you don't have to attack the actual idea and what evidence they do have over what actually happens. You just attack the idea, you attack this institution, the establishment, and then you throw into doubt everything that's poisoning the well. That's not how that works. How? When? Sometimes yes, sure, I'll agree. There sometimes is an effort by some to bury evidence that do not support their ideas. Yes, that happens. That has happened. But to think that it's an overwhelming problem is a fool's errand. Because why do their ideas still work? Why does their knowledge still apply? Why does everything they do still actually do the things that they say they're going to do? Oh, the fall.
Engaging enemy station.
Because there is no real consequence to their ideas. My guy, academia is the reason why we have satellites and are being able to talk right now. Over the internet. Not some kid in his basement trying to figure things out on his own without no. Everything that we have built on, the vaccines, healthcare, history, everything has been built off the people that work in academia. And that story has that is physics, not anthropology. They're in the same system. And anthropology has changed. Like they're not afraid. They're like the people that change the narrative is not academia. It is fucking what's it called? Like social media that changes the narrative. For example, right? There used to be this concerted thing that Neanderthals were less developed and ooga ooga booga caveman. Then it came out that they were, you know, a lot of Europeans, specifically Northern Europeans, have direct Neanderthal DNA in them, which also technically includes me. And then all of a sudden, hey, Neanderthals are, you know, very creative, very smart, maybe even smarter than humans. It was just due to certain things that they required that... It's not science that creates the narrative. Academia doesn't create the narrative. Their research and data do not create the narrative. I'm not offended by what you have to say, Zentuzo. If we have to move forward, sure. But once again, to move forward, you have to show why the previous thing doesn't work. And why everything we have done so far has worked.
Fleet action underway.
I'm not offended at all.
Engaging enemy station.
You look like you're about to go to the ceiling and play Spider-Man. I just get very excited in general. I just, like, that's how I just generally talk. Especially when I'm passionate about something. And especially when I'm like, my guy. I do not feel sorry for Graham Hancock whatsoever. That guy is a grifter. The guy is a grifter. He has been shown time and time again to not have the actual science to back up his statements. So, of course, he's going to get called out for it. It's not like, oh my goodness, they're bullying him. No, they're peer-reviewing him. That is the process of the scientific method. They're peer-reviewing him. And then he's complaining that they're peer-reviewing him. I do not feel sorry for him in the goddamn slightest. No, they don't let him access to sites all the time, especially here in the US. Well, that's because they don't. Probably because the people that have those sites don't want a person that has consistently been wrong and completely make really crappy comparisons all the time. He is the boy who cried wolf. It's like saying, oh my god, I feel so bad for the little kid that cried wolf all the time that they didn't come the third time. Oh no! If it isn't the consequences of his actions. Oh no! What do they care? They care because it's like those sites in some cases are holy. Like, and also, like, the people that are running those sites don't want a person just spouting nonsense and misinformation and stories and claiming them as fact. Right? No, that's because he's not a scientist. He's not a scientist.
New species variant available.
Because misinformation is not a narrative, right? It's not the narrative, it's misinformation, right? If someone comes up to you and says 1 + 1 = 3, or in the case of Terrence Howard, 1 × 1 is 2, is that a narrative or misinformation? And would a math teacher want Terrence Howard in their classroom saying 1 × 1 = 2? Would you be upset at a math teacher for saying, no, I don't want Terrence Howard saying that crap? That's not controlling the narrative. That's saying, I don't want misinformation. I don't want a guy that has constantly shown complete disrespect for certain things. Yes. Sure. Let him do that with other things. Get some credibility first. If there was credibility to begin with the guy has zero credibility in any circles other than people that want to believe it. Right? Let him have access to the apples. And if he's just going to ruin them? No! He has ruined every single apple he's gotten his hands on. We don't want him with more access to more apples. That is true. I'm talking
Spaceport
about
reports enemy
the
contact.
stories he weaves and the people that he dupes into believing them. That's how he ruins them. He creates a story rather than the actual thing that's saying. But then, if he was just creating a story, that's fine. The story itself isn't the problem. It's how he twists that story into saying it's truth. Or this is actually what happened. And then he cries about it when people call him out for that and say, oh, they're so hard. Oh no. Look at them being so mean to me. They don't want me part of their circles. When he's actively just making crap up and calling it science. Once again, if you have a math teacher trying to teach science and Terra Tower comes in saying 1 × 1 = 2, do you think that that math teacher wants that person in there? No. If that were true, then why science doesn't do the same to the Catholic Church? Because the Catholic Church owns their sites. Because the Catholic Church doesn't allow scientists in. Because every time they do, they prove things are bullcrap and wrong. For example, the Shroud of Turin. Complete fake.
Science Division reports success.
Every time they actually allow people to go in there, but they don't want that in there. And if you're going to say, oh, I'm going to compare that, no, it's not the same. Because once again, Mr. Graham has never proved anything, not one of his stories at all, to be any sort of factual. He just says the story and then says it's fact.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Spaceport reports enemy contact. Engaging enemy station. Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Fleet action.
Oh, wow. How long does this guy live for? Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's very nice. Have you actually tried the Crisis Ascension perk Rage of the Behemoth? Not yet. I plan to, but I hope to. It's all about power. If the science institution is shown to be wrong, they lose power. Thus, they shunt anyone coming in with new perspective. That's not even just wrong. Like, think about how our understanding of things have changed in 20 years of science. A lot has changed. A lot has changed in 40 years, 60 years, 80 years. Every decade, something new comes in that we change. That changes our understanding of things. It's not about science. The science institution is not. It's not about being wrong for a science institution. Sure, there are some people. There are some people that will use their position to gain power. But it is hot garbage to say that it is as big of a problem as people like to make it. And right?
Spaceport reports enemy contact. Science Division reports a new breakthrough. Engaging enemy station. Science Division reports success. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
They say all crop circles are a hoax. Find one that isn't one.
Spaceport reports enemy contact.
Find one that isn't one.
Council agenda available.
You're going to be pretty disappointed.
Science Division reports success.
Just what idiot traveled light years to make crop circles? Maybe some space teenagers, that's their version of graffiti. Who knows? Something must be really going wrong in his life. Man, these kids getting their rocks off by just going to a planet, throwing in crop circles. They get yelled at later by their parents. You can't show them to. You can't portray us yet. They'll know we exist. What's so bad about that, Mom? I want them to know I exist. I want to rebel. No, you can't let them know we exist. There's a reason why they can't. They can't handle the truth. Yet lab studies have been done to the crops, and the ones that are not considered a hoax, the stem of the plant has been microwaved. Which lab studies? I guarantee you, those I am very sure those lab studies haven't been peer-reviewed. And if they have been peer-reviewed, they've been peer-reviewed into the fecking dirt. A hydrate moist, thank you. I need that, actually.
Moist.
Thank you. Once again, I'm not offended by anybody, and yes, people are allowed to have the stories they have, right? So all the thousands of people who saw the Phoenix Lights are hoaxers as well? Anecdotal evidence is the lowest form of evidence in the history of mankind. I'm sorry. And again, just because you see something, right? correlation does not equate causation. Also, there is more to just a phenomena happening, right? There are so much phenomena in phenomena. And that was a tick. Anyways, there's so much stuff that happens on our Earth throughout the entire centuries of mankind that we have explained through very mundane means. Just because we see something does not mean it is the thing in our head that we think it is. That is called confirmation bias. For the record, if a scientific paper uses the phrase microwaved, it isn't scientific. Unless they say that we microwaved a burrito. In which case, once again, that scientific paper may not be good. The government won't let you take anything with you. What? Why does the government... Why would the establishment need to keep the existence of aliens from us? Like, what benefit is there to the establishment to keep the existence of aliens from us? This is the exact same thing with, like, flat earthers. The people will panic. The people will panic. Okay. There's plenty of things that people have panicked over. And they have tried to hide, and it didn't work well. For example, nukes. The idea that extraterrestrial life would come to this planet is laughably human-centric. Here's another funny thing about alien life. It is totally acceptable that alien life could exist. 100%. However, remember that the galaxies between us are moving away from each other at the speed of light. The speed of light. So, if they're not in our galaxy, unless somehow they found a way to achieve faster than light travel, which, once again, is just a theory. We don't even know if that's possible, right? This is just assumption, built on an assumption, built on an assumption, built on an assumption. They would have to actually beat that. Yeah, sure. Coming here is completely illogical. It's also possibly not even possible to do for them. It's quite literally possible that it's not possible for them to come to us. Because they will never be able to go faster than the speed of light. In which case they would never be able to get to our galaxy. Goodbye. Supposed to protect you in this case, they can't. Believe me, the government is not supposed to protect you. If that were true, they would actually do different things.
Station reports enemy contact. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Give me a note, Chili. This is also probably... Yes! So are you! At the end of the day, I will say, instead of saying for certainty that there are... Rila, for context, this entire conversation started because of a comment made that humans were genetically modified to be the way we are by aliens. Or the gods. So, that's how this entire conversation started. The end of the day, I will say this. I do not know. But therefore, I cannot tell you if it is or it isn't. I will even go so far as to say humanity does not know. Most good conversations start with ridiculous statements.
Sword 1 Actual reports all ground objectives secured.
I can tell you that, no, you're mistaking evidence for confirmation bias. Very big difference. You are looking for things to confirm your opinion.
Fleet action
Try
underway.
proving your opinion wrong first, and then see where that goes.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough. All sword ground elements are dropping on target.
Right? You have to prove yourself wrong first before you get to go claim that there is a
Station
fact to
reports
be
enemy
gone
contact.
in, right? Otherwise, once again, you're just doing confirmation bias.
Science Division reports success.
The only evidence is a mathematical equation. By the math, intelligent life is 100% certainty. There's no physical evidence at this time, much like white holes confirmed to exist via math, but never observed yet. Yeah. So what about the videos the government released about the Tic Tac and the coast of California? Did they fake that one too? What I'm saying is, prove your theory wrong first. You have made this hypothesis, and the hypothesis is aliens have come to Earth and have genetically messed with us, are still around messing with us, all that sort of stuff. Prove it wrong first. Then, when you find out that when it's been tested enough that you can't necessarily prove it wrong, then it becomes a theory. And also when other people show, like, what could be wrong with your way of thinking. That's part of the peer review process. That is the scientific method. That's how you figure things out. That is critical thinking. You don't accept or reject everything outright. You ask questions until you get to the bottom of the answer, or you try to prove it wrong. And if you can't prove it wrong, then work with it. Then use it within a working model. Otherwise, you just fall into the trap of confirmation bias. Like, forever and ever and ever. Jesus Christ, this fanatical purifier.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
I'm just imagining aliens flying across the galaxy, braving black holes, asteroid fields, and galactic phenomena, only to then hear from the onboard computer, "You're close to Earth. Please please choose a continent to crash land on. Unfortunately, there's no other option. If you don't choose a continent, one will be chosen for you. Sincerely, your onboard computer. You cannot prove the existence of aliens on your Earth without actual physical evidence, and the government will never let you have it. So then it's a non-verifiable hypothesis. In which case, then you can't know. You're correct. Welcome. That line of reasoning does not prove that aliens exist. Like, even if you are correct that that is happening, that line of thinking still does not prove your point. I can say there's a purple dragon living underneath my basement. But you can't see it, you can't detect it, it breathes invisible and heatless fire, you can't observe it through any physical detection. So, an invisible, detectionless, magical dragon, what is the difference between that and a dragon that does not exist? What's the difference? None. They might as an invisible, detectionless dragon might as well not exist. If evidence is lacking, you fall to logic. Logic dictates there is no reason for other life to come here, therefore, unless there is evidence, the only conclusion to draw is there have to have been no visits. There is no conceivable way any organization can withhold that level of event, especially in 2025.
Station reports enemy contact.
That's really mean to call your wife a dragon. I really would have thought better of you. I need a girlfriend. Yes, I broke up with a 3-year-long commitment, almost 4-year-long commitment, month and a half ago. That doesn't change that I still wanted a girlfriend. I mean, one of my wives is an eldritch being. This woman is really just drowning where I'm. This woman is drowning where I am dying of thirst. This is bullcrap. So you're saying if I have a video of your wife having sex with another man, you won't believe until I can bring the. That's not how that works. We're talking. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. It is not a big claim, even once again, within your thing, right? If I had just started dating this wife and there was other evidence that the woman was cheating on me, yes, one video would be enough for me to believe that she's cheating on me. But if there was no evidence whatsoever, I would immediately wonder if the thing was doctored. I would even bring it forth to them. Right? It's conditional. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. One video may be evidence enough for one thing, but it's not going to be evidence enough for another thing. Same with 100 videos or 1,000 videos.
Ground forces are dropping on target.
Not all evidence are weighted the same.
Ground objectives.
Like I said, anecdotal evidence is the weakest form of evidence. No, the evidence, it just drips of it. When you look at everything together, it tells a story. And that right there tells me that that's not true.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
If you're saying it tells a story, I automatically kind of just tune it out. Okay. I have beaten my rival. Now we have to take on a crisis. Telling a story is code for it doesn't exist, but I really want it to. And look, if you have a story, it's okay to have your story. But understand that your story is not something that we should base our society or beliefs on either. We have every right to say, I don't like that story, and I don't think it has any meaning for my life. This goes the same for religion and many other things. The whole idea of ancient aliens and, like, old-timey civilizations. Really cool story. One of my favorite movies of all time is Alien vs. Predator. Which is, like, beat for beat what you guys have done with, like, the whole story of aliens messing with their genetic code and stuff like that. AVP is amazing. But it's a story. Now, some people, I don't know who, but some people may take the moral implications or the moral understanding and apply it to their own life. That's fine. I don't know why you would do that, but some people do. That's fine, but don't pretend that your story is factual. It's factual to you, sure. You can believe it, but your evidence is not evidence. It's a story. A really cool and interesting story, but a story. Please don't send Aqua all those immoral videos. He should stay a streamer and not slip into the porn. Do you think I would look good as a porn star? I am sorry. I do not have... the only thing I have going for me in the adult entertainment industry is my voice. And that's it. Everything else, there is nothing here that would work well in the adult entertainment industry. Zantuzo, what the fuck? Also, I just die in the adult entertainment industry. I would die.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
Speaking of which. No. But it's high noon somewhere. I could do male voice. What am I going to... I can't do Widowmaker voice. I could best maybe do Tracer. Okay. I need to fix my economy. It's porn. No one cares about accuracy. Listen here. I do.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
But yes, I would die in the adult entertainment industry. I struggle but I'm going to get real here, chat. Okay? I'm going to actually get really personal and tell something about my life. Growing up in a cult stunts your sexual growth. That doesn't sound like... That isn't, like, amazing. Like, wow, he said something that is totally fair and reasonable. Growing up in a cult stunts your sexual growth. I grew up in a cult. My sexual growth and understanding. Is that code for small dick? No. That's code for having troubles having a normal relationship with sex. Sex is hard to get, like... How do I say this without getting too explicit and be just, like, get red in the face? It's code for just having a really difficult relationship with sex. That doesn't mean I don't like sex or want to have sex. I'm not asexual by any stretch of the imagination. But being sexual, being that sort of thing is very difficult for me to do in front of anybody, including close people. There's literally only been 2 people that has ever seen that side of me. So it's like, when it comes, that's part of the reason why it would be very difficult maybe it would break me out of my shell a bit if I did get into the adult entertainment industry, but to actually just get into that space to begin with, it would be, like, ridiculously difficult to begin with for me, because it's not that oh, I find it like morally wrong or bad or problematic. Absolutely not. And there's no problems with the I have no problems morally with the adult entertainment industry, besides, you know, some of the bad stuff that happens, obviously. But to actually just go in there and just be like, hey, this is what I do now. It gets me really, really nervous. Incredibly nervous. Alright. I always find it funny that the so-called evidence video, whether ghost, aliens, paranormal experiences today, are always made with cameras that the inventor, Joseph Niepce, had just invented back then. You'd think we'd get some 1080p eventually. Bro, I just bought my 1080p hot alien women. Where are they?
Science Division report success. Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
I'm just going to leave this conversation the way it is. I'm just gonna leave that conversation in the back burner. We can bring it up another time, Planksy. But thank you for the conversation. Thank you for understanding that, like, this is interesting. It was a good conversation. We're gonna put this on the back burner for now. We can bring it up next stream. I have found growing up in a sexist environment produces one of two reactions. Either a difficult relationship with sex like yourself, or a very open one like what I have. See, I'm incredibly jealous of the people that have an open one. I'm incredibly jealous. I'm just like, God damn, I want that! Give me that now! But also it's like, at the same time, I'm not demi, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I'm not demisexual, but like, for me, like, it's like, I need either an incredibly, like, they're doing literal sex work in college. Fair enough. You broke out of that shell quickly. For me, it's just like, I try to talk about it, or I try to, like, express it, sort of, maybe, to a potential partner. And it just comes across as weird, which is fair, because I'm not very good at it. So I need, like, basically a very specific partner to understand that. To find a random partner, like, I'm sorry, I don't do casual sex, I only do ranked competitive sex. Exactly. Find a southern farm girl. Unfortunately, I'm in Canada. I already live in the southern farm process.
Science Division reports. Ships refitted. Ships refitted. Science
Council
Division
agenda
reports
ready.
success.
No, I wouldn't say that. You're poly, sure, but that doesn't, like... One of the most misunderstood, like, people I've ever seen are poly people. Oh, it's just a sex thing. Not quite. Not quite. See, for me personally, I know I'm not poly. I know I'm not poly. I don't have that interest. Sure, you get these fantasies of specific times, but to actually have a relationship with multiple, can't do it. Can't do it at all. That, and it's not that I think it's wrong. It's just I can't do it. I can't do it. Even beyond my relation, very sex and kink, it's caused many a misunderstanding. Fair enough. Oh, that's what you call yourself in the mirror when you're sexually aroused? What?
Science Division
What?
reports a new breakthrough.
What are you talking about? What are you on about? Explain yourself! Explain yourself this instant! What did I say? Just because I will talk about any sexual topic and educate whoever wants it, I'm not looking to label, at least not anymore. Yeah. I didn't say anything. Zantuzo, what were you referring to? Explain yourself right this instant. Explain! I'll be away for 50 years. No! Get back here, you bastard! Get back here! No. You can't say that and walk away! Yeah, dude! It's against the rules!
Ships refitted.
That's a bullshit. What are you doing, Odin? Oh, I see. He wants to play with a piece of plastic. I don't know why he likes the thing so much. You want it? You want it? You want it? I'll go get it.
Construction complete.
I have never laughed so much lately as here. I'm glad I provide that entertainment. I am glad I can provide the entertainment.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
Explain yourself, though!
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Thank you for the gift.
Science Division reports success.
But you also believe in God. I do not. I do not, in fact, do that. Oh, you're talking about Odin. That's what you're referring to. Yes, I believe in this little bastard. Ugh. This little ballless bastard. This little ballless bastard. Also, do you want a treat? You want a treat? I believe in the gods. Fair enough. I think Odin wants a treat. And then it's like 9:30. Baby. Oh. There you go. The god cat has been appeased. Why would a being needs to be capable? What would a being needs to be capable to be considered a god? God just means mighty one. So it's all just a matter of perspective and belief. Anything can and could be considered a god compared to anything else to an extent. God is more of a philosophically, God is a comparison rather than a to us. Yeah. For me, I can recognize that people see things as gods, but unless you can actually show me the creator of the universe, I'm not impressed. Well, they would need to exist. That is a good first step. There you have a ridiculous sacrificial shrine for your god. Where's the pomp, the altar, and your praises? That box has been with me for 5 years. My cat loves that shoe box. It is a shoe box. It was my first pair of work boots that I got for a job back in before I left and when I came here. Oh, and I came to Regina for the first time. No, sorry, before I left. Sorry, I was still in Prince George. I started a job, and it was my first pair of work boots for that job. He loves that box. I don't know why, but he loves it. And I threw in 2 lizards in there for him. Lizard stuffies. They're his boys. He likes the box. It's been there for that long. This is a new event.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
I mean, how do you know it doesn't exist? What other requirements a being must possess to be considered a god? Because if it exists, the chain of you are sitting is a god. That's a God of the Gaps fallacy. Oh, we don't know if there is one So how do you know it's not there? I'm not saying it is or isn't there. I'm saying I can't possibly know of it, and I do not see enough required evidence to know they exist. I would, and I say, but humanity doesn't have the knowledge to know that they exist. If you don't offer him any alternatives, he can only love that. He has no other choice. Your poor god, I almost feel sorry for him. I have tamed the god. He will do as I say.
Science Division report success.
My economy is about to tank for a bit. Well now.
Science Division report
This
success.
planet is really fecking weird. Okay, I'm going to spec it into... Okay, I know how I'm going to do this planet. This planet I have to spec very strangely. It's going to be entirely focused on getting raw resources, but then a few city districts for specialization. There's no way to be deemed a god without some massive fallacy indoctrinating others. Like I said, god is a subjective term. God by itself, the actual meaning of the word God means mighty one. So it's all in relation to another thing, right? If we went back in time with our technology, we could be considered gods. And who are they to argue? We've got the evidence right here. We are gods.
Construction complete.
Oh!
Science
5.2 million military
reports a
strength.
new breakthrough.
Did you get the Praetorian Scourge? I'm currently breeding 3 more. I also like breeding big things. Don't clip that. You don't need to do that. Chat, I beg of you. Chat, I beg of you. You don't need to do this. Oh my. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Science Division.
It's a
reports
joke!
A new breakthrough.
Misinput! Misinput! It was a misinput! The thing is almost as big as a system. Step on me. Just kidding. I'm just being silly. So, the Behemoth is the hunters the Praetorian Scourge is running from? No. The devs have said many times that they don't... there is no official lore on who the Praetorian are running from. The devs have specifically said that. The idea behind the text, if you get the Praetorian Scourge, and you have the Behemoth Crisis, is the text says the hunters will become the hunted. It doesn't tell you anything about what they are. It just tells you, we're gonna go see if they're up to snuff, if they're actually as tough as they think they are. But still don't know what they are.
Science Division report success.
Yeah, well, we know. They came from another galaxy. Yeah. It's like the theory on Warhammer 40k that the Tyranids aren't... The Tyranids aren't hunting us, they're running away.
Science Division.
That's a
reports
fun
success.
theory in Warhammer 40k.
Council agenda available.
How much sublight speed do I have? I get 15. Oh, wait, is there a faster way to see this? Sublight speed. 145% sublight speed. That's dumb. 145%. That's fun. Ship fire rate 100%, ship weapons rates 30%, ship starting experience 1000. Look at all these modifiers. Jesus Christ. It's amazing.
Construction complete.
Anyways, I think we end it here for now. It is getting late. My neighbors will get upset at me if we don't calm it down. Not that they have gotten upset with me yet. My neighbors down there make more noise than me up here. But I don't complain because I'm sleeping. And I'm pretty good with the white noise. Oh, again. Here. Gotta say goodbye to chat. Gotta say goodbye to chat. Come here. Have a good night. Zentuzo giving me, like, anxiety by flirting with me. I don't understand. I'm not saying they're flirting with me. My brain can't interpret it as it being anything else. He says goodnight to you all, by the way. Mwah. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. He says thank you too. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for the interesting conversations. And you all have a great night. Thank you. Bye for now.